Welcome home to St. Anne's. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you. Some days, the sermon is going to be rough, so you just bring chocolate anyway. Please be seated. 2, 3, 1, I don't care. There's plenty for everybody. You take as many as you need, because we're just going to try and get through it. So, yesterday, a Lutheran pastor friend of mine texted me, and he said, "What are you going to preach tomorrow, Meg?" I said, "Well, brother, I'm in survival mode at this point. I don't know." Now, luckily, my new assistant, Spencer. Hello, Spencer. Say hello to Spencer. You owe Spencer a big thank you, because Spencer says, "Meg, you're going to do what you always do. You're going to preach the gospel." I said, "I don't feel like it. I don't want to." But that's what we're going to do, because that's the important thing to do. And the gospel always has something to say. And normally you get to this gospel and you're like, "Oof, that's fire and brimstone, Jesus." And you're just like, "Yeah, y'all need some fire and brimstone." And we do. We all need some fire and brimstone. But here's what I love about what Jesus says. He says to his disciples, because they go and they're not well received. Jesus is not well received. Y'all are like, "Just bring the chocolate. We're ready for the chocolate, Meg. It's coming. I swear, I bought enough for everybody." So Jesus says the disciples are not well received, right? Nobody wants to hear what the disciples have to say. This Jesus with his love everybody stuff. Ew. Have you met everybody? Have you? If everybody were dogs, I'm there. But everybody that includes humans, that's a different story. And so nobody wants to hear this from Jesus. And so the disciples tattle, because they're good disciples. Like, "Jesus, nobody wants to hear this. Should we rain down fire and hell on them?" That's literally what they say, right? That's literally what they say. "Can we get some revenge, Jesus? Please. Can we get, we know you got the magic hands. Can we use them on these god-awful humans? Because they're not being nice." What does Jesus do? He rebukes them. Right? I will get mine later, but thank you. Thank you. I've been using a mixture of coffee, margaritas, the pool, lots of chocolate. I get how we all survive here. It's all about coping skills, people. It's all about coping skills. Does anyone else want some revenge right now? You're feeling some big feelings right now, right? I don't care where you stand on things. We all have some big feelings. I've got big feelings. Yesterday, the last thing I wanted to do was say to this dude, Lutheran pastor, "I'm going to be nice tomorrow." I didn't want to feel nice. And then, to be honest with you, I didn't feel like it. And then Jesus rebukes us. Jesus rebukes us in our moments of feeling big feelings. Jesus says, "Calm down. We ain't got time for big feelings." Brothers, sisters, friends, siblings in Christ, we ain't got time for big feelings. We don't. We only have time for the gospel. We don't have time to be looking backward to see, but we used to be so relevant. Clergy love to feel relevant. We're not. The church loves to feel relevant. We get big billboards that light up. Free VBS. Somebody would pay to go to VBS. That is not, really? I got kids. They come knock on my door. They're like, "Come to VBS." I'm like, "You can't pay me to send my kids to your VBS." I just say nice things like I work on Sunday. Usually they go away. Anyway, so we want to feel relevant, right? That's how the disciples were. We want to feel relevant. We want to feel like we matter. And just like, no. Because you, I, the disciples, all of this, the church, it doesn't matter. Do you want to know what matters? The gospel matters. Love matters. God matters. We're irrelevant. Is that a little bit comforting? I mean, a little bit? Like, do you feel like, okay, it's not riding on me? I'm the only person who's like, thank God it's not riding on me. Okay, so what do we do? What does Jesus say? He says, we've got work to do. We don't have time. We don't have time to lay down our heads. We don't have time to get distracted. We sure as hell don't have time for your fire and brimstone on people who don't want to hear the gospel anyway. We don't have time for that. You and I don't have time. Now, I work with a lot of kids. I work in a lot of trauma. Big trauma. Is my collar popping? It pops. We're just going to pop it off. It's fine. I feel like making collar popping jokes. Collar popping. Don't tell the bishop. She knows. She already knows. So I work in a lot of trauma. I work at, the old school view, and the view that many of us have, is that there are bad kids. You know the bad kids, don't you? The ones on your street, your grandkids, your kids. There are bad kids. They're really bad kids. They're defiant. They yell a lot. They get in trouble a lot. They throw things. And when you're around somebody in trauma, you get really mad. You just do. Adults in trauma, they're the worst. We do ugly, awful things when we're in moments of trauma. And here's why. Because, and this is your little brain moment, okay? Take your hand. Take your thumb. Put it right here. Go like this. That's your brain, okay? Here's the thing. Your brain. So this little front. Okay, I'm not a scientist, not a doctor. This is going to be really rough, okay? This is your prefrontal cortex. This is the part, the front of your brain. It makes good choices. It can learn things. It can have discussions. It can think deep thoughts. Underneath is your fun little amygdala. Your amygdala feels feelings. It's the thing that likes to gossip. It's the thing, but it feels good feelings too. It's your feelings part. This fun little part here, this is your brain stem. This bottom, this is your lizard brain. This is literally what keeps you alive, right? It doesn't do much besides fight, flight, freeze, appease. It's just trying to keep you alive, and it's good at it. We're all here, right? Clearly, brainstem is working. Lizard brain, working. Some people like to do a fun little rhyme thing, and they talk about your lizard and your wizard. Okay? Here's where it gets really interesting. They can't all fire at the same time. They don't all fire at the same time. So here's your little brain. When your lid gets flipped, boom. Y'all been there, right? We all flipped our lid. I did it several times yesterday and Friday, which, by the way, was awesome. My parents' 50th wedding anniversary. That was awesome on Friday. Yeah, I was a real mess. Apologies to anyone who came across me on Friday, because my lid was like this, right? And I'm like all up in here. Okay, so when our lid is flipped, we cannot have conversations. We cannot learn. We cannot do anything. You ever been in a fight with your spouse, your significant other, your kids, or whatever? Why did you do that? I don't know. Has anyone ever screamed at you and you're upset and they yell at you? Like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? And you're like, ever been like, oh my gosh, thank you for asking. Now I understand. Anyone? Because I sure heck haven't. Okay. That is because your lid cannot think when it's flipped. kids' lids, people in trauma, cannot think when their lid is flipped. These disciples can't think and make good choices because their lid is flipped. You and I, many of us right now, are struggling, right? We don't know how to live the gospel in this world because our lids are flipped. We're in survival mode. We don't know. So, here's the other thing that's important to know. Humans mirror each other, okay? So if you are working with a kid in trauma, you're working with an adult in trauma, you're working with your significant other, and you're like, oh my God, you're traumatizing me. We will mirror each other, all right? So, they're escalated. What do you feel? Escalated. You feel escalated. What are they going to feel? Escalated. And you're just going to escalate each other. That's how it works. We just keep each other going because our lids are flipped. Ain't got no lid. Okay. So, for all of this to work, you've got to get that lid back on. How do we do that? How do we do that? And that's so important to know and understand. There are lots of different ways to do it. But the important thing is you've got to, what I call download your calm. You've got to bring that calm online. Because I can't help a kid in crisis. I can't help an adult in crisis. I can't do anything if I'm in crisis, right? All we're going to do is keep feeding each other. So I've got to be okay. And when I'm okay, I can mirror that. And when I can mirror that, when we can mirror that, other people can mirror that. And then we can start to have those conversations. We can start to have a discussion. We can start to learn new ways of being together. Okay, so you're like, yeah, but how? This is so important because you've been in crisis, your loved ones have been in crisis, people you're around are in crisis. So how do we download our calm? And that's what we're going to do today because I don't know about you, but I could handle some calm, all right? So if you are in the midst of crisis, which we're not right now, but if you're in the midst of crisis, you're in that argument or you're in whatever, you're in a car accident and the first thing you want to do is come flying out of your car and wail on them, but you're 5'4" and a girl and you maybe weigh 105 pounds fully wet, that's not a good idea. So you're going to have to download your calm real fast. So 4 breaths in, 4 breaths out. And we're talking through your nose, out your mouth. And I know that's important to say because I was giving birth with my first child, but I had my kids too early, so I never actually got through birthing class. Yeah, I failed. Never even made it to class. And my first child I had naturally. Second one, we're just trying to keep everyone alive. There was nothing natural in any of that. Anyway, the first one, so I'm sitting here in labor. I don't know I'm in labor because I'm dumb. And she says, I need you to breathe. I'm like, I'm breathing. Obviously, I'm breathing. I'm alive. She said, no, you're not. I need you to blow out the candles on your birthday cake. Oh. So when you are escalated, you're going to breathe in, blow out the candles on your birthday cake. All right? If you're in a moment, 4 and 4. But we're not in a moment right now. We're in a very safe place, and I hope you guys always know that church is a wonderfully, beautifully safe place. So we've got a little bit of time where we can download our calm. Not too long because, y'all want to get out of here. That's why I give you chocolate. So I'm going to sit when we do this and fiddle with my kala. All right, so I want you to get in a comfortable spot because we're going to download calm. And when we can download calm, then we can follow Jesus and we face our faces towards Jerusalem. And then we're ready for the real stuff. Because when we go out of these doors today, it's going to get real. And we have to be equipped for the real and for the trauma and for the escalation. All right, so I want you in your calm place. Now, I would highly recommend feet flat on the floor, but you do you. And you can either close your eyes or you can find a place, I don't know, maybe the cross, not your priest, where you can kind of zone out. You can look at it, but you're not like really thinking about it. You're just kind of in the zone. All right? We all in the zone? Take a minute to be in your zone. All right, now remember when we're doing this, we're breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Okay. All right. So, you think you're not carrying tension, but you are. So I want you to start at the top of your head, your scalp, top of your head. You're going to notice if you're carrying any tension there, and you're going to actively relax it. Relax your forehead. Here's a weird one. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your ears. If you're clenching your jaw and you didn't realize it, relax your jaw. Relax your neck. Relax your shoulders. Maybe give them a little bit of a shake to make sure you actually relaxed them. Relax your arms. Relax your hands. Relax your torso, your tummy. Relax your hips and lower back. Relax your legs. Start with your upper legs. You might be holding some tension there. Release your lower legs. Release your ankles. Give your feet a little shake. Wiggle your toes. Make sure they're nice and relaxed. And I want you to just be in this moment, okay? Just be in that. And then I want you to remember someone giving you the biggest hug. You know the kind that's like a 1-minute hug? It's just a really tight, secure hug. Really tight, secure hug. And I want you to realize that that's God. Really tight hug, really good squeeze, where you feel secure, you feel safe, you feel precious, you feel loved. Because you are, even though we forget it. We hold all that tension, we forget. We are precious and we are loved. And then on your forehead, in your baptism, your minister took their finger and they did a cross on the side of your forehead. And they sealed you with the Holy Spirit. So I want you to feel that, almost not burning in a bad way, but that sealed, that cross on your forehead, sealing you as Christ's own forever. I want you to breathe deeply again. Keep breathing in case you forgot. Maybe you stopped. I don't know. I hope not. Maybe you'll pass out and then I'll feel really bad. But breathe really deeply in that moment of that huge hug, that being sealed as Christ's own forever, searing you forever. So take a few more deep breaths. And when you are ready, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and come back. Are you ready for Jerusalem? Oh, and I gave you hugs, because there are hugs and there are kisses, but I can't buy any more of the I don't have any more to give. They don't carry those. That's my husband's joke. I'm going to give him a shout out because he was like, I bought these because they didn't have any of the others that you don't have to give. What? Oh, that's okay. I think we're okay. We'll put those out later. So we have extras. Let's stand together and say the words of the Nicene Creed. We want you to know that you're welcome to join us at 10 a.m. on Sundays. Please be sure to hit subscribe to receive our sermons. We can't wait to meet you.